Good evening, everybody. This is Max Farrell from Dex Fx Markets. We're popping in the live stream right now because we're going to come on board and do a little trading here this evening. Caught the stream this afternoon. We were doing a small test to see how everything was going. And, big success. We really dug being able to do the process. We really enjoyed the timing, if you will, and having the availability to learn a little bit as well along the way. Let me see if I can jump up on my 1 hour. We're going to be looking, just let me check the news here real quick. It's about 10 o'clock on the 1st of October. Had a little USD news or Audi news there, so I'm not too worried about it. 1 hour signals came over. Let's go and have a look at those. It's going to be you and I for the next hour about. So settle back, and if you have questions, please ask Joe in the chat on this Facebook page. We'll also eventually have a spot you can go to the website and watch this as well and put in chat there. We're going to look at the Euro JPY. I'm going to isolate that variable there for the Euro JPY just to kind of look at the history of it. It's sitting at 87.3. And the other one was the Audi USD, 81.6. So I think I'm going to stay with the Euro JPY at that point. But at this hour, at 10 o'clock, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to look at my monthly statistics for the Euro JPY at 10 p.m., which is 2200. Let's see. Euro JPY is this one right here. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4 down from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's sitting at 100% for this time period from the last 30 days. So I'm pretty sure I like that one. Euro JPY on the buy, 117. Now it says 79 on here. We'll keep it at 79 because we add the 2 extra pips on this particular pair, or this particular statement. So now I'm going to jump over to Nadex. Here we go. Let me see if am I on the right one there? Yep, on the right one. Okay, screen's going good. All right, we're going to go to the Euro JPY. Oh, I got to refresh my screen. Still showing the stuff back from refresh binaries, Euro JPY. Now, the good thing about this process is that we can, in the 1 hour trades, we can be 4 or 5 minutes into the system here. And not have a worry about it. On 1779, now let's see if we got anything on. Pull my screens out so I can. Now we have 117.82. And because we're on the sell side, let me look one more time. We're on the buy side, so 117.79. So we want to be lower than the 79 if we have to. So that would be 72. Now that's, we're sitting at 81 right now. So not sure if I'm really liking that. If I try to jump up 10 pips to the 82, we're going to be hitting 46. We're basically out of the money. We're out of the money right now on 81, so we can't do 82. So let's have a look at the charts. Let's pull the chart up here. Let's go down to Euro JPY. Now we're in a buy pattern, which is good. We got a little bit of chop happening. And as you can kind of see, sitting at 117.79 would be pretty strong. But again, there was no statement for that. It was 72, which would have been all the way down here, which would probably be pretty good to put a working order because we do see you get some chop. But I don't think it would get bought up. Now, let's jump over and look at the Audi USD to see if there's anything to that signal that's on there. This is a pretty strong signal. We could be on the good side of of that 81% that we're looking at. So let's look at that as well. Let's jump in. I'm going to go to Auto USD. The 9 to 10 to 11. So 9 to 11 because that's 10 o'clock hour. And we're going to be looking at, I'm not even going to be, let's look at the signal here. It says 6709. 6709. 6710 on the buy would be good. We're sitting at, let me look at that again, because that's 2 pips up. 6709, 6706 would be the guarantee. We're going to do 10 here. We just missed the $25 mark. We're going to try to do that here. I'm going to put a working wrong way. Put it on there just like that. Place order. See if, oh, it did get bought right away. Good. It is jumping, falling down a little bit. Let's go look at that. Let's go look at that market. Hit the chart. Yeah, I think we'd do pretty good. 6708 would be 6710. So that would be a golden signal because we got some. This is a golden signal because the TNT means trend, negate, trade. So as we've established a trend, first bar, negation, negation, trend, negation, negation, and then you got the trade. So TNT. Come back to the EMA or SMA and place your trade from there. 6708, so 6710. So we go over to Nadex and boom, there it is, 6710. Not too bad. Now, I'm also going to show you. Let's go down the list here, because at 10 o'clock you can do the 1 hour and 2 hour signals, and we're going to go to the 2 hour signals to see if there's anything juicy on there. See if anything's fired off. Only one, the Auto USD, and again, it's sitting at 92%, so that's looking pretty juicy. But let's look at the chart as well to see what we got. And are we on a buy? We are on another buy. It looks like it's just curving into this. We do have this channel of support and resistance, that green line, that red line. But I think we'd be doing pretty good here at 6701 for the 2 hour. Let's see what we got if we were to stay at the top of this, since it's just pierced over at 6705, 6707 in that area. Let's go back over to Nadex. And now let's look at the 10 to 12, 6701, 6704. See, we've sort of gone on because it's sitting at 6713 right now. So we sort of moved on from that process. Maybe when we first came in, we could have been at that point looking at the 2 hour. 6704. Looking pretty good. But again, I really wouldn't want to get into pushing that realm too far, because we're sitting up here 6704, so 6706. Yeah, there's nothing really strong in that. That's 6708. It looks good, but I think I'll pull from that. All right, so let's jump back over. The Auto USD was the only thing that fired. I want to jump back to the 1 hours and look to see if there's any other non-signal other than the Auto USD and the Euro JPY on the charts. So let's go down the 5 pairs that normally would fire off at this time, which is the Auto USD we just looked at, the Euro JP we just looked at. We're going to look at the Euro USD right now. No signal, but yet no real good feel. I think we're going to do a crossover again, a battle back and forth. Let's look at the Great Britain Pound USD. Again, a little choppy. USD CAD. Coming down to, there's that channel we talked about earlier, and sort of pushed itself in USD JPY. All right. Nothing really that's catching my fancy too much. We're sort of staying in this nice little dog channel that it's created. So let's jump over to the 5-minute trading system. Excuse me on my cough. All right, so our new 5-minute trading signal has just fired off at 2010, so 2210. So we're not going to be able to get in this one. It expires in 2 minutes. But if we looked at it, 2297, Let's go over and see if we were able to even get in at that point. There's a possibility. 22.97, and let's of course pull up our 5-minute binaries. It's a Great Britain pound USD. There we go. And it was sitting at 22.97. And when I call these numbers out, I'm not calling out the entire thing. So 22.97. Was that on the sell? Yes, it was on the sell. Cool. So 22.97 up here. About 3 inches. It's only got about 36 seconds left anyway. I don't know if we would have been able to get into the trade at that point. Let's look at the chart. Squeeze you a little more. Okay, here we go. 22.97. Yeah, I don't think we would have been, because see, this is where the 97 mark is sitting up here. Because we come back, it's the same system. It's the same system as the 1 hour, the 2 hours, the dailies, all of it. It uses the same priorities of using the SMA, the direction, the trend, everything. It just so happens you're waiting for a perfect signal to come over and hit us in this process. So, not too bad. 22.94, 97, yeah, right around that area. But we could have looked at really closely this this level right here as it comes back up to vibrate here. 22.92, so 22.94 would have probably been something pretty good. All right, so we just fired it off. There's no other signal there. That tone that you hear is our 5-minute signal system firing, saying there was a close. So we're going to back to the charts. We're going to run down the gambit here like we did before. Go to AUD USD. Now we seem to have a process here that could have fired off with a perfect signal. We're going to try to use this to our advantage. 67.13. Excuse me. On the USD, on the AUD USD. Come on, let's move. AUD USD. This is pretty close. 67.15. That's really super close. 67.13. Yeah, that's really sitting on that side. So what we're going to do is that we're going to go for it. Because it's so juicy, it doesn't make sense not to do it at this point, because we're right in the middle of it. I'm going to give it another second or two. Down to that 3 minutes period. I'm going to do market order there. And we're going to give it this shot because we feel empowered. 67.14. There we go. Place order. All right. So we're going to wait and see what happens on this one. Because we got in so juicy on that one, it's like, you know, $37. You know, so that's not too bad. Our Audi USD for the 11 o'clock, 67.10, sitting out pretty good. 5 pips in. So we're about 50% of our profit margin. A little bit less. And we got about 2 minutes on this 5-minute trade here. But again, you know, I normally don't like sitting here watching the trades happen. Like, I try to go do something else. And luckily, you can watch both the trades and the charts on your screen. And you see why I kind of went for this. Now, this one could still fail because we're so close to the process. But being that we just came off this heavy negation, okay, we had a push, some resistance, major negation all the way across. And it popped over again using this momentum. Let's see what happens if we can prosper from this. If not, then we're not in as much as where we mostly would be on a trade. So I'm not too worried about it. Even if we do take the loss here, we're not going to lose as much as we would on, say, a full ride. Let's go down to, I want to look at the other the system here for 1 second. See if there's any other trades in here. Euro JPY would have been something to look at. Nope, that had done a crossover. Euro USD. Pound JPY. This could have been something to push with because we're so flat at this level. But again, I'm really trying to wait for the arrows to come on. Some people are using these newer methods of seizing the moment, if you will, with the pairs, using either the SMA and or the top of a particular trade, like something to this effect, like the first one going crossover. You would have lost it here, but if you went back over the SMA, you could get out. There's all these like different little strategies that you can use, but I got to tell you, I try to stay with the process itself. Okay, we got about 9 seconds left. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So chicken dinner right there. Closing out at 67.15.6. That was a $37 win. I love it. I'm going to skip the next trade because that was a Buteman's trade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up and I'm going to grab my information. It looks like I got so much stuff happening, but that was a win on that solution. Sitting at 67.10 for the Audi for the top of the hour, sitting at 39. So let's go back over, look at the 5 minutes, see there's no signal that fired. Let's see if there's anything else juicy. That's a $37 hit right there. $37 in the pocket. Loving life. Go back up to Audi USD. We do have another one on that Audi USD, but I think I'm going to steer clear since it's sort of bouncing back down. Euro JPY. Try not to trade the same one twice. We may have a return coming back up here after a little bit, but again, I don't like just guessing and hoping that it's going to drop and do the turnover. So we'll go to Euro USD. We're still in that first minute of that trade. There's a buy when we got a down signal there, or up signal with a down SMA. Great Britain Pound JPY, no trade. Great Britain Pound USD, no trade. USD CAD. Nope. And crossover with something from that negation coming over with that crossover. But again, it's been pretty strong. We get the negation. If it comes back up, we'll look at the next 5 minutes, see what happens. We got about 7 more trades we could possibly do for the next 20, 30 minutes. I want to kind of take it to the 11 o'clock hour. If you're watching this late at night with me, or if you're on the West Coast or what have you. Okay. There's a nice size win there. That's so weird. Oh, you know what I think it is? That yeah, there's that 5 minutes, 67.15 again, kind of playing around, but it's not. We're not in that particular 5 minute trade. We're going to wait for that another 2 minutes coming up. See if we can get into another trade. Now remember, we talked about consistency. We talked about in the previous videos, we talked about finding your consistency and finding your pattern and your patience and your discipline. If I trade tonight, and which we're in right now, 2 trades, one for 27, 26.50, and the other for 37. If we were trading more contracts, if we had the balances in there to be able to handle 5 to 6, 10, 20 contracts, $600-700 night. If you don't have the balance, then you're sitting back at these lower levels. Now, we also do this thing called the incremental crawl, which is something that's pretty powerful. That if you have a balance, let's say you're trading one trade at a time, like we're doing right now, like 1 or 2 trades at a time. For every trade that you do, for every trade that could possibly go on in your time period, you want to have about, if you're trying to get $25 profit per every trade, you're risking about $75. I know it seems skewed in some people's lives, but don't worry, this is Nadex, and you're usually trading high in the monies and have a high rate of success. So it's like having a leverage against the process. So for that leverage, you pay a little bit of premium in that. So if you're looking to get $25, you're risking $75. I usually like to have about 10 times the amount of what I'm risking for every trade that I do in my account. That gives me a little buffer. So if that's the case, then I need to have about $750 for every trade that I want to put on at any one time. So if I got 2 trades on, I want to make sure that I have at least $1,500. Get where I'm going with this? So keep that stuff in mind as you're trading. As you do that, if you end up, as you're winning and you make more money, then you simply add more to the bottom line. The volume then becomes the amount of contracts you do. So that you keep that in mind as you're building that relationship with your trades. All right, we just had, let me see if we get another fire. Nope, no fire off on the system here yet. Charts, let's look at the charts. We'll run down again. AUD USD. No go Euro USD. Now the charts sometimes fire off a little bit different than what the signals are doing. The signals are using a little bit different mentality when it comes to trading the 5 minutes. And even our bot that's trading live is using, or trading automated on our system too, is using a different mentality than even the signals and the bot are the same. So these signals and what our bot's taking on are the same, but our charts are a little bit different, only because they're a little bit more dynamic for the manual trader. All right, nothing happening on there for those particular trades. So we'll sit back again, and we'll comfortably wait for another 5 minute to hit us. Now, of course, if this, let's go back to where was that, the AUD USD. It did push up and over again. Which one was it that was just maybe going to push over? I think it was the USD JPY. Yeah, it was. So if this happens to come back up and give me a buy signal up in this area, I'll jump on that in the next. If we don't get a signal on it, I will buy into that. All right, I have to be careful because I have so many things open at the moment, and I do apologize. I may have not been on the right screen at the time. Let me see, I think that's the 5 minutes. Yeah, okay. I may not have been on the right screen whilst in training. Nope, it wasn't. Okay, so I'm going to apologize right now. I was on a couple of the wrong screens as you were watching. That may seem a little frustrating because you probably couldn't have seen what I was talking about at that time. All right, let's put that down. Yeah, we got about 2 more minutes coming back in. And that trade, it's won 3 times over 67.15. It's hit 3 times that it's been at that level of 67.15 for the AUD USD. And I'll take you to that screen right now. Yeah, 3 times that it's come back at the timing, to be around that 67.15 margin. This time, I don't think it's going to last. I don't think it's going to stay above that 67.15 this time, but I could be wrong. I'm going to jump back over and look at the, let's see if I can do that here. And look at the, here, I'm going to go here and go new tab. Pull this 2-hour trading back up again. It's that AUD USD, but I'm going to go down the charts here. Knowing that the, let's look at the Euro JPY on a 2-hour. On the buy, just shooting over. Nothing. Grip pound USD. Nope. USD CAD. I mean, I love this setup, but I think I would have loved it more here. Wrong one. USD JPY. Yeah. Okay. So I made the right decision. Don't get into any of those trades. In the mornings, we're going to try to do these between 11 and 3, 12 and 3, somewhere in that area. Just to kind of see how everything's working out. All right, so it looks like we're going to, if we don't fire off one here, I'm going to come back to that 5-minute here. We didn't fire off a trade there, but we're going to run down one more time. AUD USD. Looking for the buy trade, nothing there. That trade did win, by the way, or that signal did win at the 15. All right, so we have something here on the Euro GPY, but it's a squeaker, and we call it this squeaker because we know that in that first bar, it's going to come down below this process. So I'm going to look at the Euro GPY sitting at that 117.81 at that level. 117.81. Let's go over to Nadex now. Euro JPY. 117.81. There is no 81. So I'm not really digging that. If we pop over 83, we might be able to do that, but I feel much more confident if we had the 81. Let me look at the chart here real quick as well. Let me get on the right one here. Euro GPY. Yeah, 117. So 117.83 would be the primer. So yeah, so let's kind of stay with that. If we stay over, okay, there it is, 117.83. Okay, let's push that now. And again, we're so close to this process. That's a $40 trade if we can kind of stay over that 83. And stay north of that. So $40, $39.50, 37 after fees. So we're going to see if the solution there stays there for that signal, because what we have here is, again, some push. I would really love for this SMA to be stronger because it's kind of weak and curtailing a little bit, but you know, again, I don't really judge it by here. I'm looking at these last 20, 30 bars, but the last 5 to be exact. So as it's coming up, it's had a little pullback up. There it goes. It's heading off north now. Should be sitting up about 184 or something, or 83, 84. So good. So let's see what happens. Got about 1 minute and 40 seconds left on the clock there. Okay. Excuse me for 1 second. We'll be back before that trade expires. Sorry about that. I had to severely cough, and I didn't want to try to keep trying to monitor myself there. I had to kind of let that one go. It doesn't look like this one's going to take off. I hope we might get it at the last second here. We've got about 20 seconds left. 19. This is a little exciting. 82, 87. 15 seconds left. So this will be the first live loss we've done. I don't really care because it's sitting at $60. We got it at such a good price. It doesn't look like we've won that one. That's okay. It's all right to lose some of the trades that we do. That's completely fine, right? Because it only takes me 2 trades to get back on that one anyway. So we're still up $30 for the night. That one, yep, we're down for right now. We're down like $15, so not too bad. We're hoping that this trade will come back in and keep us on top of that process. All right, so we're going to look at another trade right now. We're at the top of the hour. We just shucked that one off. We didn't really do anything wrong. We are trading aggressively. We are using a little bit different process than the signal itself. Okay, so now we have 2 true signals that have come on. We're going to encapsulate that real quick. Great Britain pound USD sitting at 97. We're going to do 22.94 on the sell. Let's get over to Nadex. 22.94. I don't even think there's one on there for that. We're not on there. So we're going to go to the other one. Now remember, that one uses a very secure pattern to be able to trade with. Right here. And then USD CAD on the buy, 32.12. 32.12 on the buy, 32.11 on the buy. That looks pretty good. So what I'm going to do is do 1, I'm going to do 75, and we're going to place order. And hit close. Now remember when I first fired that signal, or that trade, we were looking at the Euro JPY, and what did we say? That it was a little bit close for what we needed here, right? That I was a little worried about that curtailing of that SMA. So use that as a lesson, that when you get these little flat line pieces here of the SMA happening, it just kind of lets it stay within that vibrational level of 5 to 10 pips. And this is what they hope on, right? As you get this little vibrational level, let it prove itself to become something. And we really didn't let it take that next level to prove itself. But we got it at a really good price for it to be able to do that. There's plenty of times where it does move on from that solution. So we just have to deal with the good and the bad, right? If we can get them at those higher rates, then it only takes 1 or 2 to get back. Like 2 trades at that 40 level, 1.5 trades in, you're back on track again. All right. We're going to go down the list here again. Audio USD. See if there's anything else on the chart. We do have this one now happening, but I don't really believe 67.13 because we don't really have a buying pattern here. So let's see, 67.14 on that Audio USD. 67.15 on the sell. 67.13. Well, we already got bid at 67.13, so we're not going to go back at it again. Oh wait, no, that was the Euro JPY? I can't remember. All right. We got a couple more trades we can get into. Doesn't look like we're going to get into this 32.11. was Euro JPY. Okay. All right, here we go again. 2240. Let's refresh the screen. We weren't able to get to those two, but we have a Great Britain bound JPY fired at 132.43 on the sell. I don't think I refreshed the right screen. Oh, there it is. 132.43 on the sell. There's no 43. Sitting at 40. That's a little too high. Again, it's right in between. So we're going to go ahead and put 1. And then we're going to put 25. And place order. Now in these, I'm not trying to make it happen. You know, these ones are pretty strong. I mean, if I isolate that variable in the 5, the Great Britain pound JPY, it's sitting at 97.9. So if I put a working order on that price, okay, on that price, that $25, it has a good possibility of taking the trade. And if it takes that trade, it has a 97% chance to win. Right? That's pretty damn good. The unfortunate part is that sometimes the market has to fluctuate so much, 6 pips, to get to that point. But there's no reason. They're 5 pips apart already. So they know the market's going to move. We know the market's going to move. It's just whether or not market or the market makers are going to offer pricings for those particular solutions. Excuse me. So we're probably not going to be able to get into this one, but let's go over and have a look at the market, the charts here for the 5 minutes. Once again, we'll go down the list, see if we can find anything. Nothing on the Audi JPY. Euro JPY kind of punched me in the face, so I'm a little reluctant because it's still sitting sideways. Euro USD. This is a pretty good selection. We would have probably got a little, I mean, if we, listen, trying to come at the monies, okay, when this thing comes out, you're going to get bit. You're going to get bit a lot, right? You got to give yourself this movement of pullback, right? Just because the signal comes out, don't put it at exactly at the money, right? That's what they want you to do. That's the allure. They don't make anything top, you know, they don't make anything available one up or one down, right? So let's investigate that. When the pair comes out, look how skewed this is, right? This is sitting at 41. 5 pips up, it's sitting at 25 cents. 5 pips down, it's sitting at 75 cents. Or actually $2.75 or $1.75, whatever. Wait, no. That's $6.75. You see what I'm saying? So, I'm sorry, wrong way. 1 down because it's going to be down below 36. That means it's sitting at $93, right? If it were to drop down there, they're offering that opportunity. Would I take that? And if I put 1 down here like that, look at that. I can win $93 by risking $6.75 or 25 cents. That's a possibility, but you've got to have influx of the market. The market needs to be able to move these 5 or 6 pips for it to be able to do that. Can it? Yes. Will it? Well, how many trades do you need to win at that level to make that happen? Get what I'm saying? The chance for it to go up above 46 is the same rate. Look, $6.25. You see that? So why so skewed? I mean, we're talking 5 pips. Ain't much, right? Because they know the market value is sitting pretty low. The market expansion is low here. We're probably not going to go up 5 pips at that point. But we could go up 2 or down 3. And that could win or lose you in that draw. So that's what it sits at. We know that right now, for it to be below 30.41, it's probably pretty improbable because now they're sitting at $78 at that last process. And somebody has given you an opportunity to try to get in. Pretty crazy, right? Once you start really looking at all the 5-minute trades have 5 statements on board. And so when the first pair when the price comes out, and you'll see here, right, the price is sitting at 132.42. Look at that middle pair, 132.43. Okay, that's what it's sitting at right now. That's what when that 30 seconds prior to 10 seconds prior to, it picks that pair, so 43. And let's jump back over to the system to see if there's any signal fired. I'm going to refresh because I have a lot of stuff going on the computer. So, all right, no signal, but let's look at the charts. Audio USD. We have a buy signal above, but again, we're kind of vibrating at this level again, right? And I don't want it to be wildly swinging above and below. I want most of my trades to be above that SMA. If I'm going to be making push trades in it, right? If I get a golden signal, I'll take it. Okay, so we got a little negation that came over for this massive trend. Look how big that trend is. Boom, 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 boom. Right? And the first time that it's really started to bubble down below is right in here. So I'm probably not going to take anything at that point. Euro JPY, same thing. Euro USD. Not going to touch it either because it's mixed signal. Same thing. Same thing. Got a little bit of crossover, but again, that's just a 50-50 trade from that point. If you sit down and you watch the way that the market, when the market changes, look, we got about 3 minutes left. And if you look, it's sitting at 43, up one pair. And this has a pretty big spread in between, right? Like if we go to the Audio USD, that's 2 pips, right? Great Britain Pound JPY is 5. USD CAD is 5. Let's look at the Euro JPY. The Euro JPY, let's try looking at the Euro JPY, folks. Is sitting at 5 pips. USD JPY sitting at 2, right? Because they know there's a lot of market movement here. But even then, I want you to look at this. It's sitting at 107.76. That's 1 pip up. That's dead middle between these two statements. Okay? But the possibility of it being higher, I mean, it's offering $25 at that point, but it has the next line up, okay, for it to be above 77. And that's a pretty damn good deal for it to try to do that. But you would be risking $25. Now, you got to win at least 1 out of 3 to be able to do that. And again, that's not too bad. That's 33% to be able to break even. But, do you want to play that game? Look at this, 75.9. For some reason, all the pairs have stopped. There's not very much on anything. And I don't know why it's stopped. That's pretty weird. There's no it's for under. There's nothing made available. There's no offers or no bids on either side. And that's so weird. I want to refresh the screen, make sure nothing happened there. Yeah, there they are. They're all back. Sometimes that happens because there's a lot of info. I don't know what happened here. Euro USD sitting at 0936. There's no. Okay, there it is. It's back up again. See, they're only offering, it's under 37 by 0.04 pips, and they're only offering, $15 for that process, because I don't know if they don't think that it's going to be under it, or they're absolutely sure it's going to be under it, but that's pretty poor. There's a lot of market manipulation that happens with 5-minute signals because they can, and that's the thing. All right, so we're back in about a minute. on that pair. Let's look over on. We're still doing pretty good. We're about 5 pips up on our auto USD, sitting at that solution. And then let's look at the signals. We're going to fire off in your second. See if there's another signal coming on. We got about 10 more minutes here on the stream. Just pop it in for an hour, kind of taking a trade. Do this 3 or 4 times a day. Okay, so we got, let's re-ring this here. See if there's anything, and nope. But we're going to go down the list here again. Auto USD, nothing. Euro JPY, nothing. Euro USD, nothing. Great Britain Pound JPY. It has a buy pattern. I think that's still going to continue to drop. Great Britain Pound, nothing. USD CAD, no, okay, nada, but it's kind of playing around right at that level. And the infamous USD JPY does have a actual pattern in, but we're probably going to get to exhaustion from this solution here. So I don't like 3 signals in a row. This first one was probably the best one after we did this push up for that USD JPY. $107.73. Let's go have a look at that. Yeah, it's already 2 pips in from that point. 73, so that would be 75. That'd be right at that margin. Okay, so we're in for a trade. We're at 107.75. And now we're going to sit here on this perch here for a minute. Let's go down and we're on USD JPY. No signal there. Let me take a second here and kind of explain to you that there are many processes out there that can trade, and there's many systems that have programs that trade. Okay, so one of the ones that we use is our trading bot that does probably about 5 or 6 trades a day in the 5-minute series, and it waits for something perfect. Does it lose? Absolutely, it has losses, but it has a retention rate, a good rate that it comes back and buys in. You add that with your manual portfolio, and over the last 3 weeks of trading this process, there's 353, there's 117.74, and minus 47. So you do have losses, but over the last 3 weeks, trading 1 and 2 contracts at a time, we have great opportunity. And it's the opportunities that you have here that we create that patience with the discipline. If we want to create more wealth, we simply add volume to that consistency to make our goal. I preach this a lot. Some of you see it a lot. But the real power is coming in and learning these systems, what works for you. For me, trading 1 hour and 2 hours and 5 minutes in between works well for me when I'm doing these kind of things. But when I can't sit down and trade, the bot's trading for me automated during that time. If I were to just sit down and do this is over about an 8-day period, making me about $353 trading 2 contracts at a time. So if I have that in there and it's working for me, throughout that time, you talk about 3 times that amount. You're talking about $1,000 a month sitting at 2 contracts. How do I make $2,000 a month? Well, I let it trade 4 contracts. But again, you got to have the balance in there for that to work. Okay, so just keep that in mind as we move forward in learning how to do these trades. USD sitting at the 0775 just took off and won that, by the way. And that was 3 contracts in there because I do have the balance to be able to do that. And I am at that level in the incremental crawl to be able to do that. And that put another big value into our night, which overshot the loss and took our process into the next level for our solution, which means that we're way ahead of the game. In the next 5 minutes, I usually don't trade the last 5 minutes of the hour. I usually let the trades do whatever they're going to do and go with that process. But we'll look at one more time, one more 5 minute, if you will, just to kind of look to see if we have anything within the system. If there was a signal, answer is nope. And let's look at the charts one last time here. Into the breach, I guess. No on the AUD USD. Euro JPY is a no. Euro USD is a no. Great Britain Pound JPY. Now, because we have the rule that the price has to be below the SMA, this is probably not going to be a trade for us at that level. Okay. Great Britain Pound. This is a possibility. This is actually a pretty damn good possibility. Actually, maybe 27.88, so 2,300 or 23.90 or 22.90. I don't think I'm going to be able to get into this. It's pretty far. 80. Oh wait, is that 86? So it'd be 88. So 90. So let's go look at that Great Britain Pound USD. Great Britain Pound USD 22.90. So yeah, 89, 88. 87, so 89, that would be the number here, and we'll do 25, we'll do 3, and we'll do place order. Now if we do get bought on that, it's got a pretty good number sitting at 22.89. Why? Because we have a good success rate when it comes to the pairs when they fire off a signal. About 95, 97% success rate firing at that signal. When you use the charting system, you're firing off at that level when it comes back to the SMA. So sitting at 89 is going to be good. 22.89 at that level, right up about this level right here. Because if it comes up and gets bought, it has a potential to win a tremendous amount at this point. $75 for that trade. For me, for this particular trade. Got about 1.5 minutes left on the 5 minute trade. Well, it's not even up, but 1.5 minutes, almost 2 minutes on our 1 hour trade. Now, inside the comment section, or even inside the comment section, there is a link to this spreadsheet that you see. This is open to the public. People can see this. If you see all these little other people up here, these are anonymous people that are in there watching what we're doing in here. You see our manual 1 hour and 2 hour trades. We got another 1 hour in the win. We got another couple of wins, and we'll have 2 wins definitely, and then 1 loss. And so, but that other win was a 3 contract, so pretty good. And if we happen to get bought up on this one, which we haven't yet, doesn't look like we're going to. We were pretty close. We got about a minute left. We'll let this thing hang on to see what happens. Which is really weird because it's sitting at 22.87, 2 pips off. But because we're only 2 pips anyway, that 2 pips is, it's relative to the market makers making their money. So sitting at 22.86 right now, this is keeping it pretty low. They're keeping the sell side of that pretty low. 67.16, 6 pips on that AUD USD. I don't see that failing. I see that as being a win. And again, that one's $27. We had 33, so that was 90. So 27, 110. And then another 33, 143 minus 60. So about $80 night tonight. So not too bad. Got about 4 seconds left. And there we go. The big win. That will end our session for tonight for trading. And 1 hour. Let's, not sure if I can pull that into here because I have the trading. Here we go. View history. I'm going to pull the history for tonight for our trades. And we're going to check them right now. 11 p.m. There we go. That's all the trades we did just right now. And let's go over and have a look to see what they look like. Now I'm going to plop them all down right here and I'm going to sort them out. So just give me a second. It should only take a couple of seconds to be able to do that. This is a... Is that from the previous one? So I'm going to delete that. Is that right? Did I miss something? Let me go back over. Oh, I missed this. Yep, I missed that one. It takes a little finesse. But once you get it, you got it, and it will take you to the next level. All right. Oh. I went to the wrong screen. Hang on 1 second. Still the wrong screen. Oh, there we go. Here we go. You should be on the right screen now. There we go. Okay, so this Auto USD for 11 is a 1 hour. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to put that on the 1 hour screen. Right there, just like that. And then back over there. And then I'm going to take my... And that win is down here, by the way, right there. Auto USD, copy that. And put that right there, just like that. Once you get this down, it goes pretty smooth. So, a little tiny one, 24 bucks. And then we have one. These are the trades that we have now in here for the 5 minutes. Copy, and then we got our mega loss. We don't have, how bad was that? That was boom. That was $61. That trade, this level of trade makes it up in one hit there. So, and then we have this one. So not too bad. That's a sum of about $59 right there. Oh wait, do we do? No, this was earlier. That was yesterday. Okay, so that's tonight. There's 35 minus 61 and 85. So that's $59 right there. And then another 24, so 59, 24, it's 83 bucks, right? 59 plus 24. Look at me counting. I'm counting now. $83. So $83 in the hour. Really trading about one contract at a time, but that one that has 3 contracts on it, whatever, my balance can handle it to that process. So, and I know where my signals are. I know how the opportunity works for us. So, but you don't get that unless you get in here and start trading with it. If you start working with that process, right? There are gambles that you're going to take. Trading is gambling. Christ, living is gambling, right? So it makes up for it. And sitting down here for tonight, that's a pretty good living. We're talking about a pretty good living here. Why did that not? Where am I at? Oh, that's the max manual. That's why. I was like, wait a minute, why am I in some strange screen? But you can kind of see, right? This is a good success rate, 85.71%, and still winning 176 bucks for the week so far. So for the week so far, 173, or for the last 30 days. So that's what, $400, $500, 520, 620. And then manual minus 47, so 580, somewhere in that area for that 8 days. That's pretty impressive. And if you were to multiply your processes that way, then you can make $3,000 or $4,000 a month trading a couple of hours a day and letting the Autobot, do what it's supposed to do and trade. Now, I don't even count my other automation trading that I have on for 1 and 2 hour trades. That's a separate process that I'm doing, that I'm testing. I'm still testing some of the bigger processes with the solution. So if you're interested in learning what I'm doing here within the system, even if you think you can't do it or what have you, there's a lot of stuff to learn. Yes, it can be overwhelming, but that's why we're here. All right. So I hope I make it look easy enough. Yes, I've been doing it a while. I kind of know how to get my way around the processes. But if this seems enticing to you and you want to learn it, come over to DexFxMarkets.com. Check us out. Tell them Max sent you, and they'll get you all set up. All right. I'm Max Farrell. This has been DexFxMarkets.com. I look forward to seeing you next time. And as always, trade well.